Good morning. Welcome to Morning Moments. I am so glad that you came to join us this morning. And whatever platform and venue you're watching us on, uh, we have today a very special guest. She is a filmmaker. Matter of fact, she's an award-winning filmmaker from Missouri. She has produced several films, a lot of short films, and a lot of productions, and she'll be telling you a little bit about that. Dale Green gave me her name, and I have just enjoyed talking with her and getting to know Gayla Prewitt from Missouri. Gayla, welcome to Morning Moments.
Hello, thank you.
Thank you for joining us today, taking time out of your busy schedule. Let me ask you, what do you do and why do you do it?
Well, probably the best way to sum it up is that I'm a storyteller. And I've always liked, I think even as a small child, liking to find out information and share it with other people. I feel like information helps us make wise decisions. And even in the Bible, it says, my people are harmed from lack of knowledge. And I just think even in, if you want to talk about America, I think when we have accurate information, it helps to keep our society free and a good society. And I just think it's very important. So I guess first and foremost, I just call myself a storyteller.
I saw in your Facebook, you also are and I love this, the chaser of clouds. I like that because I've often had people tell me that I'm not a chaser of cloud. They usually tell me, get my head out of the clouds, Andy. But you're a chaser of clouds too. I like that title.
Well, yes, I dream big, and I feel like, God is a God of big dreams. And if he gives you a passion, I think that's the part you have to make sure that it's his dream and not yours. And obviously prayer helps with that. Sometimes I don't pray as much as I should, and then I pursue things maybe aren't his plan, and so those don't work out so well. But yeah, I'm a big dreamer, and I feel like God did put those dreams in my heart for a reason, and so I pursue them.
God knows your heart. It's up to us to hear his voice. And so he put that passion in your heart to begin with, and now he listening to the voice of God saying, okay, God, how do I fulfill the purpose you've given me? That's something that sounds like you're working towards.
Yes, right now I'm developing a sanctity of life thriller, which really developing and producing a film is so beyond me. I've never done anything like that before. Obviously, I've prepared, I've taken classes, I went to film festivals, I even enrolled in a screenwriting class at UCLA for a year and a half. And so I tried to do the work, but I can't do it by myself. It is beyond me. And so if it happens, it is because God has allowed it to happen. And I've had some doors open. Dr. Alveda King, just on a whim, and well, actually, after praying really hard, I called her office just to see if I could send some materials to her. And she called me back the next day and said, yes, she would gladly be a part of the film in a cameo role. I don't know her, and she didn't know me. But so I feel like that was a door that God opened, and only he could have opened that door. She offered that I could use her name and marketing materials, and she's been very supportive of the project. So I feel like that is him helping me with things I can't do.
You know, God looks for our availability, not our ability. And he doesn't always call the equip, but he does equip who he calls. So sometimes you go, God, that's beyond me. Well, finally, I got you where it's beyond you. So you'll have to trust in me that for it to be fulfilled.
Exactly. Yes, that's kind of what's been, and I have grown, and it's been a long process. And I think that's God taking me along and helping me and equipping me. And so when I first started this, I am more prepared than I was when I first started. And I do really feel like it's come to a point where, I don't know, I feel like things are happening and God's moving. And so I feel like it's a film, unfortunately, that we really need right now. And like I was telling someone the other day, the story is a thriller, and the main character is searching for her daughter, and everyone else, it's the tagline is Margot searching for a young daughter everyone else says never existed. So I'm hoping to take the audience on a journey. And, you know, we've all heard the stories when somebody's lost their 2-year-old child and the whole community comes out to search for them. Well, those children inside the mom is that same child, that same 2-year-old child. They just haven't grown to that child yet. And so I'm wanting to take people on the journey, and they make the realization at the end, there's a revelation, and that every life has a purpose from the beginning. All the DNA is there, and God has given that life from the very beginning of conception a purpose, without being preachy, but just to take them and let their emotions feel that.
I think sometimes people miss, and a lot of people are searching, and I'm glad you said purpose. They're searching for purpose. They're saying, well, God, why do you have me here on this earth anyway? And it's comforting to know that God's got a plan, a purpose, and a hope for each and every one of us if we will diligently seek him and say, what's the deal, God? Why am I here?
Exactly. Well, and I think that's even with, you know, me pursuing filmmaking, that's so beyond me. And I think sometimes we limit God and limit his purpose for our life because we think we have to do it all by ourselves. And yeah, he's the God of impossible. And when we read, as Christians, even when we read the Bible, we accept all those stories, but they're pretty fantastical, a lot of them, but we know they're true. But when we try to compare that to our everyday life now, we kind of limit, oh, well, that was in the Bible. Well, God is still the same God. He's still the same God of miracles, and he can do anything. And so I do think, yeah, we don't always live out our purpose because we don't believe we can do it, and we forget that he can help us.
Amen. That's great. Down below, I'm going to put, depending on what platform you're watching this video on, down below, I'm going to put some comments, your links, your websites, work that you've done, work that you're going to be doing, so people could get a hold of you. There's some folks that want to get a hold of you to look at your stuff. Some of you want to maybe distribute it. Some people want to be in the next one. And so there's a lot of connections that can take place with this. So I'm going to put that down below. But more important than that, I'm going to ask everybody that when you see this interview, no matter when it is, that you would take the time right now, and you would pray for Gayla and just lift her up in prayer, that God would continue to bless her and be with her and minister through her production company, and that God would continue to give her the stories to tell and the ability to tell it. Thank you so much for sharing with us today.
Thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And thank you for joining us for Morning Moments. And I'm going to ask you to pass this interview on to others. And if you would, please keep on coming back.